Hello and welcome to True Crime on the History Fella channel. Today we'll be looking at Charles Frederick Albright, also known as the Eyeball Killer. Charles Frederick Albright was born August 10th, 1933. He was known as the Eyeball Killer and was an American murderer from Texas who was convicted of killing one woman and suspected of killing two others. Born in Amarillo, Texas, Charles Albright was adopted from an orphanage by Dell and Fred Albright. His adoptive mother, who was a school teacher, was very strict and overprotective of him. She accelerated his education and helped him skip 2 grades. When he got his first gun as a teenager, Albright killed small animals with it. His mother would help him stuff them due to his interest in becoming a taxidermist. At age 13, he was already a petty thief and was arrested for aggravated assault. At age 15, he graduated from high school and enrolled at North Texas University. He expressed an interest in training as a medical doctor and a surgeon, and he undertook pre-med training but failed to complete it. And then at 16, the police caught him with some stolen petty cash, 2 handguns and a rifle. He spent a year in jail. After his release from jail, he attended Arkansas State Teachers College and majored in pre-med studies. After being found with stolen items, he was expelled from the college but was not prosecuted. Apparently unfazed, he falsified the degree. He stole documents and forged signatures, giving himself fictitious bachelor's and master's degrees. He married his college girlfriend and they had a daughter. He continued to forge checks and was caught in the deception whilst teaching at high school and was placed on probation. In 1965, he and his wife separated, finally divorcing in 1974. He was then caught stealing hundreds of dollars worth of merchandise from a hardware store and received a 2-year prison sentence, for which he served less than 6 months before being released. During this time, he began to befriend and gain the trust of his neighbours. He was even asked by local residents to babysit their children. And in 1981, whilst visiting friends, he sexually molested their 14-year-old daughter. He was prosecuted, pled guilty, and received probation. He later claimed that he was innocent, but he'd pleaded guilty to avoid a hassle. In 1984, he applied to become a leader for the Boy Scouts of America, but was rejected. In 1985, in Arkansas, Albright met a woman named Dixie and invited her to live with him. Soon she was paying his bills, though, and supporting him. He delivered newspapers in the morning, apparently to visit prostitutes, without arousing Dixie's suspicion. But now on to his victims. On December the 13th, 1990, Mary Lou Pratt, a 33, a Caucasian well-known sex worker in the Oak Cliff neighborhood of Dallas, was found dead, wearing only a t-shirt and bra. She had been shot in the back of the head with a .44 caliber gun. As well as being badly beaten, the medical examiner reported that the killer had removed both of her eyes with surgical precision and had apparently taken them for himself. February the 10th, 1991. Susan Beth Peterson, 27, a Caucasian sex worker who was found in the same street by Mary Pratt, was found on just outside the Dallas city limits, near the DeSoto city limits. She was nearly nude and had been shot 3 times, in the top of her head, in the left breast, and in the back of her head. The medical examiner found that her eyes had been removed as well. At this point, the investigators realised that they were looking for a repeater. March the 10th, 1991. Shirley Williams, an African-American sex worker, was found dead, lying near an elementary school. A waitress found Williams's nude body propped up against the curb. Her eyes had been removed, just like the previous two victims, and she had facial bruises and a broken nose, and she'd been shot in the face and through the top of her head. A medical examiner's field agent pulled back her eyelids and discovered that her eyes were missing. On March the 23rd, 1991, Albright was arrested and charged with 3 counts of murder. His trial began on December 13th, 1991. The evidence was mostly circumstantial. But on December the 18th, 1991, the jury deliberated and found him guilty only of the murder of Shirley Williams. During the trial, a hair comparison expert testified hairs found at the Williams murder matched Albright's hair, and later DNA testing indicated that the hairs were from a dog. Sentenced to life without parole, Albright died in West Texas Regional Medical Facility in Lubbock, Texas, in August 2020. And there we have the case of the eyeball killer. If you've enjoyed the video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, but don't forget to subscribe for more true crime on the History Fella channel. Thank you.